the second question about the rituals. Yeah, we got rituals in everything. Is it necessary to have the rituals?
Yes, good question. When you find a modern, thank you sir for asking such lovely questions. You see, the modern proponent of Hinduism comes with a prescription that is most suited to modern times. This is a unique feature of the Hindu religion. You see, with other religions, I feel a bit sorry for them. They are stuck in a rut. You see, what happens with, what are different religions? How do Hinduism looks at world religions? They look at it in the following way. They say, in different ages, in different times, in different locations, spirituality became encapsulated through special personalities who were able to experience this idea of spirit or God for themselves. And they were immediately, they felt at one with the rest of the society in which they lived. They felt tremendous oneness with them, tremendous compassion for them. This is the first signal of a compassionate man or a truly spiritual man. Compassion comes naturally. It is not artificial. He loves mankind. Every prophet of every religion, they fall in love with the society they live in. They want to do something. They want to invoke and infuse spirit in the society in which they live in. Now, different prophets have promoted this idea most suited to their own times. It cannot be otherwise. Because as society evolves, the requirement changes. But when there is a fixed society operating in certain manner, they will use certain metaphors, certain storytelling, certain narratives, certain parables to promote the idea of spirituality most suited to the times of the needs of the society. So all religions are nothing but, if you like, records of how spirituality was invoked in that particular period of time. But the problem is they get stuck in a rut. As society evolves, different religions, people of different religions mix together. They don't know how to interact. They get into real trouble. That is why we have sharp edges dividing world society today. Sharp edges in the name of religion, producing division in society. Because they don't know how to evolve. They are stuck. With Hinduism, we are spoiled for choice. We get the Vivekananda in modern times, who already gives you the prescription of modern age, what is required in modern times. And this becomes very visible. So with Vivekananda, this is what we find. He said, listen, my friends, every religion has got three aspects to it. There are three particular aspects to every religion. There is the ritual aspect, there is the narrative aspect, and there is the philosophy, the heart of religion. Karmakand, Puran, and Tattvagnan. He said, watch out. The first and the second are the superficials. They are the outer forms. They are necessary, just as we need the skin to hold the body together. They are the outer forms. They are the outer part of religion. The rituals and the narratives, the storytelling. These are necessary, very useful in every religion, but recognize them as the externals. The heart is the philosophy that is throbbing in the middle. That is the heart. That don't give up. The externals can change, just as we change clothes. We go to a different country, we change our clothes. The externals must change, must reflect the changing needs. So in the same way, the Hindu religion is open to the idea that the ritualistic practice that we promote are open to evolution. They should continue to evolve, to take into consideration the changing needs of the time. So we are open to it. Not that the Hindus are open themselves, but the religion is open to it. But they don't take advantage of it. They get stuck in a rut. Some of the rituals that you practice in the United Kingdom, in India they've given them up a long time ago. But you just hang on to it because that's the only thing you know. Some of the things I must point out, I think is very important. You see, when I see people reducing religion to the superficial, it does tremendous harm to the religion. Why do people do it? And this is an important thing I want to send back to India. You see, recently there has been this kind of movement saying that if you are a Hindu, you must be vegetarian. And if you eat meat, you are not a Hindu. This is a horrible thing. Because the survey, again by a newspaper in India recently, just about 6 months back, found that about 70% of Hindus in India eat either meat, fish or eggs. That means all 70% are no longer Hindus by this definition. Why do people reduce religion into the kitchen or reduce it to a vegetarian menu? Why do they do it? Do you know why? Because they can't dig deeper in the religion, so they hang on to the superficial. They try and find a simplistic answer. So they come out with very simplistic definition of religion. Vegetarian, okay, then you are Hindu. But, look, Buddha, one of the most compassionate person who ever walked this earth, Buddha was a meat eater. Most people don't know that. The last meal he had before he passed away is recorded as pork scratchings. Maybe that killed him. But you see, this is Hinduism. This is open Hinduism. So people don't look. Here is one of the recent avatars of the Hindu tradition, meat eater. Historically, this is not mythology. Historic figure, a meat eater. So he was not. See, you see how foolish it is to try and reduce religion to just kind of this kind of superficials. You demolish the integrity and the credibility of a very mature, very ancient system of thought. Don't do that. Don't reduce your religion because you are struggling to find the depth. You hang on to the superficials. So when we hang on to the ritualistic aspects or even the narrative aspect, we have to take care. There's another important message I want to pass on to India is this. You see, narratives, storytelling is also an external aspect of religion. The narratives, the storytelling, the marvelous storytelling that brought us into religion, the lovely stories that we were told when we were little children by our parents and grandparents drew us to religion. They are such colorful and such lovely stories and we fall in love with these characters. Marvelous, nothing wrong with that. But recognize, says Vivekananda, this is a narrative. It's a symbolic story. Recognize. Don't interpret them as literal truths. Otherwise, you come into conflict with the rationality and your own common sense. Be ready. In one stage, there was one Hindu movement. I said, do you really believe that there was a half man, half lion who came down to earth? They said, yes, it is written, Prahlad Maharaj story, yes, it is there. I said, but come on now, do you think it could have really happened? I'm not trying to take your, put you off your religion. I'm trying to put you on a sounder footing on your religion. Think about it, my friend. Do you think it really? Yes, it happened. I said, but modern science, there is no such record of half man, half lion and all these people springing up. Doesn't seem right. Think about it. What do you think? Then he thought hard about it. He said, well, in that case, it happened in a different dimension. I said, in that case, why don't you go and live in that dimension and leave us alone here? You see, this ability to be rational comes with Vivekananda. He said, watch out, my friends. It is marvelous to be attracted to the narrative, the storytelling. Recognize the limitation. You see, recognize the limitation of every prophet, says Vivekananda, including himself. You see the power of this teaching? You see, unless you recognize your own limits, you can quite easily, if you like, come into conflict with rationality. Recognizing the contextual limitation of every religion, every prophet, ancient and modern, is very necessary. If you want to put religion on a rational footing, recognize its limitation. See where you draw the line. But it is now over, if you like, it comes into conflict with rationality. Do not ever let your rationality be put down. Again, a powerful teaching of Swami Vivekananda. He said, religious truths may be transcendent truths, but they are never irrational. Watch it. If anybody gives you any material or teaches you anything that disagrees with your own common sense, reject it, says Swami Vivekananda. He said, if I teach you something, and if it doesn't make sense to with your common sense, reject it, my friend, otherwise you are in trouble. Your whole inner system will become garbled. Don't allow stuff like that to enter your system. You're open to any nonsense, any superstition. Don't do that. See the power of teachings of a modern prophet.